My boyfriend 35 male drugged me 26 female with Benadryl because we got into an argument before our road trip and he wanted me to sleep the whole time. Update posted on Thrower1 if anyone sees this. Due to the 48-hour rule. Just wanted to go ahead and post and let y'all know I'm okay. Update 2 here was the post that got removed. Holy shit. Y'all. I haven't been on Reddit since I posted my original here and I did not expect this. I had to make an extra account with similar name to post because of the 48-hour thing. But I know a lot of people were genuinely worried about me, so I wanted to go ahead and post an update. Sorry if that's not allowed. Thank you guys so much. I can't even believe the support response I got. I ended up calling my brother and telling him about it and asking him how I should handle it. And he got in his car to come get me before I even finished telling him what all had happened. Him freaking out more than anything else made me realize that I wasn't overreacting. I didn't tell my boyfriend I was leaving until my brother was parked on the street and I just walked out with a few things. So now I'm in a messy breakup situation where he's already tried to come by my mom's house even though I told him I didn't want to see him and that I'd get my stuff eventually. Both from his parents' house, where he's currently at, and his actual house. Things are gonna be weird to figure out, but I just wanted to let you guys know that I'm totally okay. Thank you. I can't reply to everyone who reached out message, so I hope you guys see this and know I appreciate it. Monday we decided to make the 8-ish hour drive back to our home state and quarantine there instead for a few months. Right before leaving, we got into a big fight because I wanted to stay at my mother's house for a while. He doesn't want me to. Among other things I won't get into. Well, before leaving we decided to eat dinner so we didn't have to stop anywhere. Fast forward to our drive and not long after hitting the road I passed out. Don't even really remember falling asleep. Woke up one time for a while. Drank some Gatorade which he gave me. And then I fell asleep again. I thought this was extremely weird because I wasn't tired hardly at all and we didn't even leave super early. I kept commenting on how weird it was that I was tired the whole drive and slept 90% of it. Yesterday the tension eased a bit and he made the offhanded comment that he wishes he could drug me more when I act out and argue with him. I ask him what he's talking about. Proceeds to tell me he put Benadryl in my drink and that's why I slept. So he didn't have to deal with me. He literally said this as though it wasn't that big of a deal. I'm still reeling from the conversation and completely floored. I don't know if I'm overreacting or not, but something tells me I'm not. And it's extremely ducked up to put medicine in drinks. I don't know what to do. Listen, leave now. As a woman who has been there and didn't leave when I should have leave. Second, you can get evidence later. You have a phone. He's bound to try to talk to you. Get him to admit it later via text or something, but proof is not or should not be your one concern right now. Your safety is the most important thing. Can your mom come get you? Can you get away from him to a public place with people and wait for her or a friend to pick you up? This is absolutely terrifying behavior. I notice he was also trying to get you away from your mom's house, trying to keep you away from a support network maybe. Please get out as quickly and safely as you can. A guy who thinks this kind of behavior is no big deal sounds really unpredictable. Don't expect him to behave rationally. Second story. I am 28, broke up with my ex-fiancée of 27 of 4 years 2 weeks ago after catching her in a huge lie and then finding out 3 days ago that she committed suicide because I wouldn't take her back. I am in need of some serious advice as I am being blamed for everything. Hey guys, I need some serious advice as I am pretty much being cornered by basically everyone and I really don't know what else to do as my mental state is declining and I am left wondering if it's really all my fault. A little background. Me and my ex-fiancée had been together for almost 6 years and engaged for 4 out of those 6 years. I was introduced to her by a close friend at a party and we just clicked. She was attractive, had a great personality and had similar hobbies as me, which made it perfect. Back in April of this year I started noticing little changes in her. She started wearing more revealing clothes to work, started putting more makeup and etc. To be honest, I had no problem with any of that stuff as it's her body. She can wear whatever and put however much makeup she wanted to, but what made things worse for me was when she started coming home late from work, or how instead of spending the weekend off with me, we both had weekends off from work, she instead was always going out. I once had asked her why she never invited me to come out with her, to which she replied that it's only girls' night out and that her other friends would not be happy if I tagged along as they were not bringing their own BF with them. It all came crashing down when me and her had a huge fight in June because she decided that instead of going out on a date with me, she told me how she already had made plans with her friends and that it was rude of her to cancel. That was it for me. I ducking blew up at her and we had a huge fight which resulted in her packing her bags and leaving. I didn't hear from her for almost a week. None of her friends knew where she was and heck none of her folks even knew what was going on until she finally contacted me and wanted to talk. Imagine my surprise when she confessed to me that there was another guy involved and how all this time she was hanging out with him when all this time she was lying to me about hanging with her friends. I ducking blew up. I wanted nothing to do with her and was going to break up with her until she got on her knees and begged me to give her a second chance, which my dumbass self did, but only after she revealed everything to me, and she did. It made me ducking sick to my stomach, but in the end I forgave her and told her to delete all contact with the other guy and that I expect her to have no contact with him going forward, which she promised, and things kinda went back to before. Heck, we were even spending more time together, but that feeling, that trust wasn't there anymore. Everything was kinda okay until 2 weeks ago a friend of mine who was visiting another city, which was 3 hours from where I lived, sent me a picture with the message, "Sorry bro, that broke my already broken heart into a billion of little pieces." The picture was of my ex-fiancée at a mall 3 hours away from where we lived, holding hands with some stranger who I didn't know. I ducking broke down. I was heartbroken. She was a BTCH. A piece of shit, especially since I thought she was at work while in reality she was 3 hours away holding hands with her lover. When I got home from work I waited for her and right away confronted her, which she denied and called me a psycho for not believing her and that I was a piece of shit for not trusting her until I showed her the picture that my friend sent me. Her face told me everything, and when the waterworks started I knew that I had made a huge mistake in taking her back, so I ended it. She cried and ducking begged me to think it over and not to throw away everything that we have together, which made me ducking angry, and I am not going to lie, but I ducking slapped her. I was not proud. I am still not, but she's saying shit like not to throw away everything when it was her who threw away everything pissed me off. I told her to pack her shit and leave. Called her parents and mine and told them everything. Her parents came to help her and I told them to basically duck off after they told me to think it over and to make the right decision before actually ending it. She begged me not to end things, but I did. Had to for my own peace of mind. I did not hear from her or her parents until 3 days ago when my parents called me to let know that ex-fiancé had committed suicide. Her parents found her hanging and she had left a letter apologizing to everyone, including my parents and me, and how she is sorry from the bottom of her heart for what she did to me, and that how she can't live without me, and because of that she ended it. I am at a ducking lose. Ex-fiancé friends and family are blaming me. And my own mother told me that it was my fault. She told me that I should have forgiven her since I am clearly worth committing suicide over. I am ducking disgusted. I have currently taken some time off from work and have not a single clue what to do. Third story. My dad is very homophobic and wants me out of the house. What should I do at this point? I currently live with my dad and my brother. I legally own the house now. At this rate, I cannot be kicked out. From an ethical standpoint, I would never kick out my dad or my brother. I could if I wanted to, but I'm not gonna want them to be homeless. I brought over my boyfriend to hang out. He literally just hung out in my room. We didn't even do anything crazy. Just talk, hang out, catch up on our day. My dad told me that he does not want to see my boyfriend in the house. He does not accept two men being together. I told him, why does it matter? When his oldest son is dating somebody who is married to a mafia, who can kill us at any given second. And that's okay to him because my brother is straight. He can bring home as many girls as he wants. I know sometimes I have a disadvantage because I'm not straight. And I feel like sometimes I've been over backwards for the benefit of everybody in this family because I want that acceptance. My sisters are open and understanding. My dad and my brother that lives with me are homophobic. My dad told me that if I continue to bring this person over to our house, from this point forward I should move out. He doesn't want to see me anymore. I didn't even tell my boyfriend yet because I just don't want to overwhelm him. I thought that casually introducing him to my dad a few days ago would alleviate the tension. I thought it was going to be better, but it wasn't. What do I do now? I thought about buying my own place and moving out finally, but I want to wait it out. Fourth story. Wife got drunk and had a meltdown in an Uber. She's been silent for 48 hours. Should I blink first? On Saturday night, my 37 male wife, 33 female, sister 32 female, and my mother 59 female joined me for a Veterans Day related event at a local hotel. There my wife randomly ran into a former co-worker named John, 30-something male, and they spent a good chunk of the evening catching up. He basically kept coming over to our table and kept saying how thrilled he was to see her. At one point she went to the ladies' room with my sister, but ended up staying with him at another table. She was never really far from me, and I didn't think much of it, but I did notice she was drinking a lot more than usual. Considering we rarely drink, the event ended around midnight and most people had cleared out already, but her and John were still talking. At which point I came over and said, honey, we have to go. Our Uber is waiting. As we walked to the car she made it clear she was not happy about me coming over and breaking up their conversation and called me a ducking a hole, which made me laugh out loud because she never talks like that, which in turn made her more mad. We got in the car and I sat in the front, while my wife, sister, and mother sat in the back seat. As the driver started heading home, my wife rudely asked him where he was going. The driver said he was following the GPS, and she shouted at him saying, no, I am going to Norm's. I am hungry. Norm's is a 24-hour Denny's type restaurant that we've been to only once in recent years. I apologized to the driver and asked him to keep following the GPS home, but she kept saying she was going to Norm's. This behavior was completely out of character for my wife, who is a well-educated and very respectful woman. She had never caused a scene in public, and is always very friendly to our Uber drivers. My sister and mother sat there quietly, until my sister texted me she wants to go to Norm's because that's where John is going. I can see her phone and he's texting her right now. After that I told my wife, who was getting louder and more obnoxious, that we could go to Norm's for Sunday brunch in the morning, but that we needed to get home. From there things took a turn for the worse. She started screaming something like, "What am I going to do at home? Play around with your little dick. Your little dick does nothing for me." I should have ducked John when I had the chance. It's time I start ducking real men. Boom. My world fell apart right there in that stranger's car. With the 3 people I love the most in this world, my sister and mother intervened by telling her to shut up. But she kept going, telling me how bad I was in bed and how I couldn't get her pregnant, along with a bunch of other outrageous things I can't even repeat because it hurts so much. When we finally got home, my sister and mother, who was crying, went inside the house, and I tried to negotiate my wife's exit from the vehicle. After a few minutes I gave up and told the driver to take her wherever she wanted to go. At that point I was more concerned about my mother. About 30 minutes later I got the notification that the ride had ended. She wound up going to her parents' house. That was over 48 hours ago and I haven't heard a peep from her. I haven't tried to contact her either. Her dad came over tonight to get her car and some clothes because she has to work tomorrow. I told him exactly what happened. He said she's not talking at all. She just told them, her parents, that she would be at their house for a few days. So they thought that I was to blame for whatever happened. I really don't know what to do. I am still shaking of anger for what she did, and fear that my marriage might be over just like that, with no warning whatsoever. For the record, it's not that I can't get her pregnant. She's the one who can't have children. But that has never been an issue in our relationship. We knew that when we got married, and I do have a smaller than average penis, but she's known that since before we started dating. We met in 2007 and became best friends, started dating in 2012, and married in 2016. We communicate our sexual desires very clearly, and I thought our tax life was great. Now I am not so sure. I have always had an unfounded fear of losing her, because she is so smart and beautiful and outgoing, that men are constantly salivating all around her. Even though she has never given me a reason to doubt, I have always feared that some man will eventually come along and convince her that I am not good enough for her. But she is by far the most ethical person I have ever met, so I don't think she has ever cheated on me, and I don't think she really meant everything she said that night. But I am having a difficult time getting my thoughts in order, especially because she hasn't contacted me at all. But then again, this is new territory for both of us. We have never had a significant argument, much less a fight that would lead us to sleep apart one night. Last week was a normal week. Saturday was a fun day. She was very happy all day and we were both very much looking forward to this event. The only variable was her running into John, whom I had met maybe 5 years ago when they worked together, but they had never dated or been particularly close. So I really don't know what triggered her. She also has a very good relationship with my sister and my mother. My sister is one of her best friends and has been for years, so I am sure she's embarrassed for them as well. But her silence now is what's killing me. I don't know what to make of it. Should I be the one to go see her and try to fix things? Or should I let her come back on her own terms? Thanks for watching. Consider subscribing for more videos.